Hello, good evening, and welcome to Cafdil Healthcare on Cafdil Television. We are coming to you live from Healthy Eyes Eye Care and Optical Center here at Pedu Junction, just behind the Pedu Total Filling Station. Tonight we are diving into a topic that affects nearly all of us, and I am talking about a digital eye strain. Digital eye strain. Most of us uses phone, laptops, and so forth. And with us tonight is Dr. Francis Redu. He is the CEO of Healthy Eyes Eye Care and Optical Center, who is going to help us understand how to keep our eyes healthy in this screen-filled world. My name is Kojo Arthur, and we are live on Facebook, that is Cafdil Cape Coast, and also on YouTube, Cafdil EDU. We will start talking right after the breather. Stay tuned.
Since time immemorial, God has always communicated himself and his will through various voices: the prophets, the kings, the judges, not forgetting John the Baptist, who was a precursor to Jesus Christ and gave us the will of God. We bring to you Voices from the Valley. This is a program designed by the Conventual Franciscan Friars in Ghana in collaboration with Cafdil TV to bring you in-depth insight in our faith, catechesis, and various Catholic teachings which will help you in your journey as a pilgrim. I know you cannot miss this program, and I highly encourage you that you shouldn't miss this program, because it is Voices of God from the valley of prayer and silence. Join us this and every Sunday at 3 p.m. and a repeat on Wednesday at 7:30 p.m. here on Cafdil TV and on our various social media platforms: YouTube, Cafdil EDU, and Facebook, Cafdil Cape Coast. Let us meet and share what God has for us through the Voices from the Valley.
Make me a means of your peace.
Welcome back. If you just join us, this is Cafdil Healthcare on Cafdil Television. We are here with Dr. Francis Redu. He is an optometrist and also CEO of Healthy Eyes Eye Care and Optical Center. Thanks. Should I say welcome or
whichever?
But thank you for having us.
Okay, and thank you too for this privilege. I really appreciate it, and I don't take it for granted. For moving your team, the whole mountain has moved to Muhammad, so we appreciate that.
Yeah, sure. So, all right. So let's start simple. What exactly is digital eye strain?
Okay, so thank you very much. And digital eye strain is something that we also call computer vision syndrome. And in simple terms, it is basically a group of eye diseases or eye discomfort that comes with prolonged use of digital screens, being it computer, mobile phone, tablets, or even now the dashboard of our cars are now having digital screens. So any kind of discomfort, any kind of eye-related problems that comes with prolonged usage of these screens is what we collectively call digital eye strain or computer vision syndrome.
Well, many of us feel tired, tired eyes after hours of on our phones and so forth. But what's really happening?
Okay. So one thing is that digital eye strain is now becoming of public health concern, and it is most especially because of the digital era that we find ourselves in. At first, we're using the YAM phones where we don't even text with it. It's mainly for calls. But now almost everyone is using Android or iPhone, which is screens. Now, if you want to send a message to someone, instead of calling, you rather prefer typing. If you want to read, so it means that there's some kind of a growing demand on our eyes and our visual system. And that is why now we are getting so many issues relating to the usage of the screen, because they put a lot of stress on our eyes if we don't use it well. So digital eye strain is now of so much concern, and I'm very happy that you selected this topic for us to share with your viewers and your listeners, so that we can know what to do to be able to reduce the impact on our general well-being and then our day-to-day activities as well.
All right. So how can we tell if we are experiencing it?
Okay, so basically some of the symptoms that comes with it, it mostly sets in after staying on the screen for about 2 hours or more. That is when the symptoms will start, and most often it will begin with some fatigue in the eyes. So you feel that the eyes are tired, or sometimes you feel some heaviness, some numbness in the eyes when you stay on the screen for about 2 hours. And sometimes too, it also presents with burning sensation. I say when you show kakra after staying on the screen for some time. When that happens, then you start getting watery eyes, because the burning sensation sets in when the surface becomes dry. So the brain will tell the glands that produces the tears to produce more tears. The only thing is that these tears coming, it is not of the rich quality as compared to the normal tears on our eyes, because it's just one component that is forming, that is the lacrimal gland will be producing more of the aqueous component of the tears. Tears, we have the liquid, we have the aqueous, then we have the oil, and then we have the mucoid layer. So these are the 3 layers, and these 3 needs to be present in order to get quality tear film. But when
present at the same time.
At the same time.
So okay.
So we have the aqueous, that is the water part of the tears. We have the oil part of it, and then we have the mucoid. That one is like sticky fluid. So these 3 is what we need in our tears. But when the surface becomes dry, the brain will tell the gland that produces the aqueous or the water component to produce more. So which will mean that you are going to lack the remaining 2 components. So when that happens, the tears will not even stay on the eye. It will just be coming out. So I said when you so at times, so you want to cry, but you are not crying. That is because the surface has become dry, so we are getting more tears being produced, just that it is not of good quality.
So that tear, I was share.
And she per se, it is the burning sensation, and only the tears, because the brain, the eyes is not comfortable experiencing that burning sensation. So we need more tears, just that the tears coming in is not quality. So once you start experiencing that, it means that you are getting the digital eye strain. And sometimes too, it also presents with headaches. Oye juma kakra on the screen, you read for some time, then you start getting headaches. It can be as a result of the digital eye strain. And sometimes too, when you use the screens for prolonged hours, it also affects your sleeping pattern. Obon say chube you know, down, so you are not able to sleep. When you to me is because the excessive exposure to the screen will also disturb your sleeping pattern. And that is why it is very important that we learn about some of these things in order to have a healthy lifestyle, get enough sleep and all that.
Then I'm a victim. I'm serious, because sometimes I go to bed when it's around 1, 2, all looking on my screen. Sometimes I'm unable to sleep. Even when I wake up in the morning, you see tears running all over.
It means that you strain the eye.
That's why I asked that.
Exactly. It's the burning sensation that is causing the tears to come. It means that you've gone through the digital eye strain that we are discussing.
So why are screens harder on our eyes than paper?
Okay, so this is very important. It's a very important question. Screens causes more strain to our eyes than the printed sheets. And the reason is that with our screens, the sharpness of the letters, the margins, it is not like the printed one. And especially depending on the type of device you are using. Also, for even phones, we have some that is 500 cedis phone, we have 1,000, we have 10,000, we have 30,000, and all these differences, it comes with different screen qualities. Okay. So there are some screens, when you look on it, you see that this one, the letters are sharp, the pictures are very sharp. Those ones will reduce the strain on the eyes, as compared to the ones that the margins and yes, sharp eyes, so you see some pixels kind of it pixelates a little. Those ones, because it is not well defined, the brain will have to put in more effort to do the processing as compared to the ones with the sharp margins. And aside that, to the brightness on the screen, the screen brightness also plays a key role in eye strain. And the best thing is that the screen brightness should match the surrounding brightness. So when you're in a very bright or well-lit area, it means that the screen brightness needs to increase. When you're in a dark area, the screen brightness needs to reduce. There are some people, they will be on their bed at night, off the lights, and be using the screen. When you do that, there is a mismatch between the screen and the surrounding. So you are going to strain more. So if you want to be on the screen for some time on your bed, then it means you need to get bedside lamp. That is why the white people brought in that one, so that there will be some kind of illumination or some light in the room to match the screen. If that doesn't happen, you are going to put in more effort. And if you're in a bright place and let's say your screen, the quality is not good, so you can't even increase the brightness, it means that you are going to strain more to see. To bones or call baby why a real nice or feel when it just to see the writings. As you do that, you are straining the eyes, and that is what we don't want. So the brightness needs to match the surrounding environment. So
which means it's necessary that when you are in a room, your light should be on.
The light should be on, and the bedroom light shouldn't be bright like the hall. Bedroom light should be a bit dim, because if it is very bright too, it's also going to slow down your sleeping time.
Some people sleep without light, others sleep with lights.
And that one, if you want to sleep with light, it shouldn't be very bright, because even if the light is very bright, it's going to generate heat, which can also affect how well you sleep, because heat also influences our sleeping pattern as well. So if you want to sleep with your light on, it should be a dim one, so that the heat will not be much to disturb your sleep.
Some people uses this the white one and the blue ones, the color one. Does it also affect?
The colored ones, it is not too recommended, especially the blue ones, because it is also having the high energy short wavelength radiations. So it is not too advisable. So the best thing is, if you want light in your bedroom late at night, use the bed stand. So those ones, they even cover it with a material to also tone down the brightness. That one is the best than using the bulbs at night.
So can too much screen harm, what do you call it, our eyes long term? Should we be worried about permanent damage?
Okay, so screen, the blue light and the prolonged usage of the screen doesn't cause direct damage to the eye in terms of blindness. However, they can cause the eyes to age faster. There are some conditions we expect them to come at age 60, 70, that way. But when we are exposed to the blue light from the screens for prolonged hours almost every day, then some of these diseases will set in earlier than naturally it would have occurred. Conditions like cataracts, is supposed to come at your later years, but if you use the screens long, it can trigger its formation. Something like, because something age related, macular degeneration, age-related. So we expect it to come with aging. But if you get exposed to the screens for long hours continuously, it's going to set in a bit early than it's supposed to. So, and then aside that too, the straining, it will also affect your performance, because if you are forcing yourself to see, it means you are going to get tired easily. Now your productivity will reduce. If you are supposed to edit this video and you are supposed to use 30 minutes, if you keep straining the eye, it's going to take you longer hours, because then you rest and all that, and it will have an impact on your productivity. So aside that one too, the prolonged usage of the screens can also sometimes induce short-sightedness in children, because when we are born, our eyes and our visual system are not fully developed. So based on the information we are feeding it, that is what it uses to develop. So if we allow our children to stay on the screen for long hours, we are training the eyes, the brain, and the visual system to adapt more with near things than far. So over time, their eyes will be shifting more towards near tasks. And that is what leads to short-sightedness or myopia. So by the time the child gets to age 9, 10, then seeing at far becomes blurry, but near becomes perfectly fine. So those children will now have to wear glasses before they can see well at far. And that is why we always advise that we reduce the screen time, especially for our children, because for them, they are in their formative years. As for us, we are, whatever will happen has happened already.
It is what it is.
But our kids, their visual system is now developing. It's still progressing. So we need to reduce the screen time in order not to cause their visual system to shift more towards the near tasks than the distance tasks.
I'm beginning to understand certain things now. This one, we had a program and you could see hypertension. You see, we are in hypertension month, and your colleagues, some of your colleagues, those who came said hypertension now starts from age 30 instead of 65.
Exactly.
And you could realize that there are so many things
we are
introduced into our system.
So many.
So I asked why now 30? He said because of this sexual enhancement.
Exactly.
Plenty of them in their system, and the youth have started taking them, those medicines, and it's creating. And like this, because of the introduction of this computer, phones and a lot of them, even children are introduced to phone at their early age.
Exactly.
And so certainly we're going to have this problem
conditions,
with us.
One thing is that civilization doesn't come cheap. It comes at a cost.
Sure.
As we are solving problems, we are introducing new problems. That is why mankind will never stop researching, because when you solve one problem, it leads to another. We were thinking that with the smart devices, it will make our work easier. But it is also putting more stress on our eyes and our visual system. So now we need to do more studies to solve that stress, and it will continue in that regard.
I think that's why you are.
We are here to solve some of these problems.
All right. So we've also heard about 20-20-20 rule. I want you to use this your room to at least show us.
Okay.
How it is done.
So basically the 20-20-20 rule, that is 3 20s. It is a strategy that we have developed based on research to help reduce the strain from digital devices. So what the rule generally says is that when you use our screen, let's say laptop, you're at work, you stay on it for about 20 minutes. You take your eyes off the screen 20 seconds. So 20 minutes on the digital device, 20 seconds off the device. And that 20 seconds, you focus on an object that is about 20 feet away.
20 feet.
Feet.
What about in your? Which means you
So
would have
20
to-
feet is like 6 meters
Yes.
away.
Yeah.
So which means that if you are in this room like this, you can just look through the window, fixate on the tree over there, or a passing vehicle, or a bird flying for that 20 seconds, then you come back to the screen. That is why it is much ideal that our working environment, we have windows, we have spaces that you can look around. It reduces the stress on our work. If you always work in an enclosed area where there's only door, there's no window, just the door and the AC, you are going to experience more stress because you are not going to get a chance to look at distant objects. Sometimes too, if there's no object, maybe a colleague sitting far, you can just admire the person 20 seconds and then you come back to the screen in a positive way, not not in a negative way. You admire the person in a positive way, just to break that.
It's good that you've
rest.
added positive way to it. Actually.
And the rationale behind that is that when you are looking at something up close or near, we have something we call accommodation. Your muscles becomes active because when you are reading, you put in more effort for near tasks. But when you are looking at far, the muscles relaxes. So when the muscles work for about 20 minutes and they relax for 20 seconds, it helps. With that, it means that you can even stay on the screen for longer hours without feeling that fatigue, that burning sensation, and those symptoms that comes with digital eye strain or computer vision syndrome. So basically that is about the 20-20-20 rule. So you look on your screen for 20 minutes. You look outside 20 seconds, and that 20 seconds you look at something that is 20 feet or 6 meters. We don't want you to use that 20 seconds to move from your tablet to your phone because it is the same working distance. So if you are saying that for me, I'm observing the 20-20 rule, but you move from your laptop to the phone or tablet, it's the same thing. You are not doing it. If we do it often, it will help to reduce the stress on our eyes and our visual system, and therefore have less impact on our productivity negatively.
We were having only gray, black, I think is it yellowish kind of glasses and stuff. Now we have blue light glasses. Do they help, or is it for marketing purposes?
Okay, so we have different types of lenses and they evolve based on the problems we are having. Like I mentioned, we need to keep solving the problems. So at first the glasses we're having were the normal plain lenses or the white lenses. So with this one, it only helps you to see because that was the main purpose of glasses.
Okay.
So when you wear this one, it means it will help you to see. However, with time we realized that the sun was disturbing us, especially in our part of the world. Now there's ozone layer depletion, more radiation is coming and all that. So research came in to also advance the lenses. So this one is a blue lens tester or photochromic tester. When I show it to the lens, you see that the color of the lens doesn't change. It still remains white. It means that when you wear glasses made of this lens, you are not going to get any protection from the sunlight because whatever radiation is coming will pass through and it will.
And it was even reflecting here.
Yeah, and it will enter your eye. So this is the harmful light. So when I put it on this tester, you see that the color is changing. So if the lens is having that protection, when I show it on it, it shouldn't manifest here.
Okay. So this has changed this one.
So you see that it is passing through. That is why the effect is still there.
Oh, okay.
So we realize that now we need to advance. So aside the glasses helping you to see, we want to now add the other protective features to it, and that is what led us to the photochromic lenses. So with the photochromic lenses, they aside helping you to see well, they also have two other effects. The first one is they reduces the intensity of the sunlight, therefore reducing the UV exposure. Aside that too, they also have some reflection on it, which reduces the glare from our screens. Sometimes when you are using the screen, you see some irritating reflections. So the anti-reflective coating reduces those effects. But there's another limitation to the photochromic lens, and let me show it over here. So this is the tester. It is changing. So when I do it this way, it is still passing through, even though the lens is becoming darker. For this one, the lens didn't change color.
Sure.
So it means that with the photochromic, you are going to get the sunlight protection. However, the blue light from the screens will still pass through. That is why when I indicated it on it, it still passed through to cause these changes.
The glass itself
But
changes.
the glass changes color. So that one is the photochromic.
Okay.
And this one was ideal in the time that the screens were not more, because at that time we were not using the screen so much. So using this one was the best, because at least it will protect you from the sunlight. But now we are using the screens more, and the digital eye strain too is becoming more. And that is what led to the development of the blue block lenses. So what the blue block lens does is it combines the benefits of the photochromic and then add the blue light filtering effect to it. So that is the extra thing it is doing. Until when you are using the blue block lenses, it is doing all the work that the photochromic will do, and it will also block the harmful blue light from the screen. So when I put this one on and I show the light on it, it is becoming darker, but it is not passing through to get here.
Okay.
So let me do it this way as well. You can see. So where the lens was, it was able to block it. So it means that this one is blocking all the blue rays completely as compared to the photochromic lens. So this one is more ideal for those of us who uses the screens more. But this one, the normal photochromic, can be used by, let's say, our market women who don't really spend more
So
time on the screen.
the blue rays are on the screen.
They are on the screen.
Okay.
They come from the screen, and they are high energy, short wavelength radiations, which have effects on the eye, and then our sleeping pattern, and then stress as well. So that is the main effect of the blue light. It affects our sleeping pattern until it can cause you to experience a sleepless night, insomnia, and then also eye strain and those kinds of discomforts.
So insomnia is not only broken heart.
Oh no, not at all.
Sometimes it's different.
If you spend more hours on the screen at night without any protection, and that is why, aside the lenses, the manufacturers of these advanced devices now are introducing the eye protection features to it. So most of our Android devices now, when you put it on eye protection, you see that the color or the screen changes. It becomes a bit yellowish. It's because now the device has taken off the blue light from it in order to get the eye protection.
So when you deactivate the eye, the blue light comes back.
It comes back.
Yes.
So the color, the beauty of the screen changes.
Yes.
It becomes better. But as soon as you put it on eye protection, then it becomes yellowish. Some way.
I think that is even comfortable. More comfortable.
That is the reason why they added. So it is all in effort to reduce the digital eye strain, because the more we are exposed to them, the more effect we are going to get on our eyes.
All right, so you are still watching Cafdil Healthcare on Cafdil Television. Let's go for a breather. When we come back, we'll start talking again. Stay tuned.
Since time immemorial, God has always communicated himself and his will through various voices, the prophets, the kings, the judges, not forgetting John the Baptist, who was a precursor to Jesus Christ and gave us the will of God. We bring to you Voices from the Valley. This is a program designed by the Conventual Franciscan Friars in Ghana in collaboration with Cafdil TV to bring you in-depth insight in our faith, catechesis, and various Catholic teachings which will help you in your journey as a pilgrim. I know you cannot miss this program, and I highly encourage you that you shouldn't miss this program because it is Voices of God from the valley of prayer and silence. Join us this and every Sunday at 3 p.m. and a repeat on Wednesday at 7:30 p.m. here on Cafdil TV and on our various social media platforms, YouTube, Cafdil EDU, and Facebook, Cafdil Cape Coast. Let us meet and share what God has for us through the Voices from the Valley.
Make me a means of your peace.
Welcome back from the break. We are coming to you live from Healthy Eyes Eye Care and Optical Center at Pedu Junction, just behind Pedu Total Filling Station, and we are talking about digital eye strain. Doc, let's talk about our workplaces, or workspace, and so and so forth.
Okay.
Are there simple changes that we can make, both home and office, to reduce strain on our eyes?
Yeah, there's a lot that we can do to reduce digital eye strain, especially at our workplaces. Especially most of us that uses the computers, like the bankers, the TV station like yourself and all that. So one thing that we need to do is to look at the computers or the screens we are using. There are new computers coming with matted screens. As a screen, the film will be so there's a film on it which reduces the reflection or the glare from the screen. So if we are buying laptops and monitors, we need to buy those ones than the normal plain one with those glares and all that. And one other thing we also need to do is to make sure that when we are positioning our screens, it shouldn't be opposite the window, because when you do that, the light reflection from the window will incident on the screen and reflect into your eyes, which will cause glare and then irritations and all that, and it will worsen the stress on the eye. So we should position the screen rather to face in the same direction as the window, not opposite. So if the window is here, the screen should face this way, so that the screen light will not fall on it. And the same thing for our homes as well. So your TV set shouldn't be opposite the window, because when that happens, light reflections will plenty. You'll be watching TV and you see window on the screens, and you now begin to stress the eyes to see what you want to see, and it will worsen the digital eye strain. And one other thing that we also need to do at our workplaces is the sitting posture and even how we place the screens. And how we place the screens. The screen shouldn't be high, it shouldn't be too low. It should be at an angle of about 30 degrees lower from our eye level. The screen should come down a little bit. So when that happens, our eyes are not going to strain much. The reason is we don't want the screens to be high is that naturally when we are doing near tasks, we call something accommodation. Our eyes will move forward and then adjust to near and then look down small. So it converges, then it goes down small. That is why when we are reading, naturally we position our sheet like this. We don't do it this way. Sometimes you go to some banks and the tellers is sitting lower, but the PC is high. So the person is always doing like that. When you do it this way, you are going against the natural positioning of the eye. So you are going
positioning
it should be a bit lower.
But how can you see?
Not low like this, like it should be somewhere this way,
like 30
an angle 30 degrees lower. It shouldn't be at the same eye level or higher than your eye level. If it is higher, then it means that you are now going to use extra energy to move the eyeball to look up, and that will cause the eyes to fatigue easily.
Those who cannot presume the angle, the 30 degrees, so you can you use your chest, height of your chest?
Okay, I think that is perfectly fine. So you can use your chest line to estimate that.
Right.
And then if you can't bring the screen down, then you need to bring your chair
down, right?
Up, so that your chair will now go up, and then you can get the screen at an inclined angle. And then also you make sure that your sitting posture too is good. You don't have to bend this way when you are working, and you shouldn't go back. It should be at 90 degrees. So the type of chair you sit on and all that, it all impacts on the stress and the discomfort you go through. So when we talk about digital eye strain in the workplaces, we are not just looking at the screens, glasses, no. The working environment, your sitting posture, it all contributes. When you are typing, your hand shouldn't be hanging somewhere. It should lie flat so that there wouldn't be any force on it.
I know some people who type this way, then they will be looking at it. So
that one
for this one, it doesn't know.
You get tired easily.
There is a one and Sunday now.
You get tired easily. So your sitting posture and all that is very, very important.
Yeah, sure.
And that is why sometimes corporate organizations can invite us, the professionals, at least to come and have an engagement with your staff on some of these things. Because if your staff are not fully fit, or they are going to stress and discomfort, it's definitely going to affect their performance. That is why sometimes you go to an office and you ask a question and you see the response that comes is not appropriate. The customer care is not there, because sometimes the staff are going through stress, so they are not of themselves, and it can be related to the work that they are doing, which will have an impact in their productivity.
Parents, or most of the parents, are worried. You know, children spend time or so much time on their phones and tablets, and how can we protect their eyes?
Okay, so with that one, it is of very significant importance that we try to regulate the screen time. Per WHO standard, the maximum screen time for a child is 1 hour. That is the standard.
The number of rubber will be 1 hour.
But won't mean 1 hour, at least 2 hours.
Okay.
That is the time they need to spend at most 2 hours. They shouldn't go beyond 2 hours. 2 hours a day. So what we need to do is to find substitutes to the screens. If the child wants to play, let's get more play toys, let's get more books, let's get other things that will engage them, bicycle, cars and all that, so that they don't stay glued to the screens. Because the longer they stay glued to the screens, the likelihood that they can even develop the short-sightedness I mentioned earlier. So let's find substitutes to the screen. We shouldn't say that. Most often as parents, when we are busy doing something and we want our freedom, then we give our phones and the tablets to them so that they can watch their cartoons, play their games, and we also have our freedom. But let's try and then manage it such that the exposure wouldn't be too much to cause some of these negative impacts. A country like China, like this, they are having this short-sightedness as an epidemic. So they are now instituting very strong, stringent measures. So in schools, they spend some hours in the classroom, then they go to their field to continue the lessons there. The reason is that they want the children to look at far. I mentioned that when you are looking at far, the eyes relaxes, and it will reduce the chances of developing short-sightedness. So they do some of their classes in an enclosed area, then they go out and then continue, so that the children will have breaks from continuous near tasks. So these are some of the things that we can also do. So let the children do more of outdoor games. And one thing is that aside the outdoor activities, protecting their eyes, it also helps in their cognitive development, their brain development, because when they are doing outdoor tasks, they will be running, they will be touching, they will be falling, and all these things, kids needs to pass through them so that they can grow. Sometime a colleague was saying that some children in her class behave like cartoons.
Because they've watched cartoons.
They've watched cartoons. So how they talk, how they do their thing, it's like cartoons to say. So let's try and then like regulate. It's not, you can't stop, but we need to put in place measures so that the outdoor activities will be merged more into their day-to-day activities.
All right. But when should we see a doctor? Are there warning signs that we should never ignore?
Okay. So when it comes to digital eye strain, once you start experiencing the fatigue, the headaches, the itching, the teary eye, burning sensation, it's advisable you come to the clinic so that we do an examination. And most often when you come, we don't just focus on the digital eye strain. We do a comprehensive examination because sometimes the blurry vision you are getting with the screen, it is not necessarily because of the long hours you are using, it's because you have what we call refractive error, or you are having presbyopia. Maybe you are age 40 and above, so now reading becomes a challenge. That one is not because of the screen. So if you are giving you glasses, then we'll add the correction discomfort. You come to the clinic, then we can do the full comprehensive examination, and if we need to counsel you, advise you on some of the things you need to do concerning your working space, then we can also add our professional advice to it.
So does the amount of time we spend on screen matter, or is it more about how we use the screens? The screens?
I'll say both. It matters. So if there are ways that you can replace some of the screen activities with other things, let's do that. Let's say reading. If there's ways that you can print some of the items and then do the hard copy readings, it is welcome, so that we don't spend all our hours on the screens. But there are situations where you can't do without the screen. For instance, a banker or a teller gets to the booth. The person is supposed to stay on the screen throughout the day. So such a person, you can't tell the person to stop using the computer. So what the person needs to do now is to do the things that will help reduce the strain by wearing the protective, the blue block lenses, also by obeying the 20-20-20 rule in order not to strain the eyes. And when it's time for break, they shouldn't move from their computer to their phone. They should use the break time to move around, stretch and all that, just
for bankers,
relax.
Are they able to move around? Because there are a lot of people.
Or they go on breaks. They sometimes go on breaks for lunch breaks and all that.
Okay.
So these are the times that we can use to rest. And then one other thing too that affects our eyes much is that when we are using the screens, the rate at which we blink reduces. So we call our blink rate reduction. So ideally we are supposed to blink at least 10 times every minute. at least every minute we should blink 10 times. Study shows that when we are behind the digital screens, the blink rate can reduce to as low as 3 times a minute.
Hey.
And when that happens, when you blink, new tear film spreads on the surface of the eye. When you blink, new tears come. So when you don't blink, it means that the surface will be exposed more. It will become dry more. Then burning sensation, watery eye, and all those things will also set in. So let's try and then consciously blink more. Don't stay on the screen for so long, and then we try and then blink. And one other thing we can do is that we have another rule, the 30-30 rule. That one says that you stay on the screen for 30 minutes, then you close your eyes 30 seconds. Now they're arrested. That is another rule, but the commonest one is
that is 30 seconds.
30 seconds.
30 minutes, 30 seconds.
30 seconds.
Oh, okay. 30 seconds.
The reason is that as you close your eyes, you are putting a new tear film on the surface. Then you can open so that we don't get our eyes dry. But when the eyes becomes dry, then this discomfort and all that will also set in.
So are certain times of day worse for our eyes? So for example, like working at late at night or early in the morning?
Late at night, the screens, it is worse than daytime.
Early in the morning?
No, like daytime, it is better staying on the screen than at night.
Okay.
The reason is that when it gets to night or when you're in a darker place, your pupils will dilate. We have some holes within the eye. It opens up so that the little light available will enter the eye. So once it opens up, it means that more of the blue light or the harmful radiation will also enter the eye. But in the daytime sunlight like this, that one, your pupils will constrict. It will become small, so it will reduce the intensity of light that will enter the eye. And that is why we advise that when you are watching TV at night, you shouldn't off your light. A lot of people like offing their light and then watching the TV. Because when you do so, your pupils will dilate more of the radiations will enter the eye. But if the lights are on, because the place is bright, the pupils will constrict, therefore reducing the exposure to the radiations.
You've talked about 20/20, 30/30, how we can relax our eyes and so on and so forth. But I want to know if there are apps, that or two that can remind us to take what do you call it? Eye breaks.
Yeah, I think I don't know of specific app names, but I know that most of our phones have some settings that you can do to reduce or regulate the screen time. Some of the phones, you can put a timer on it, 30 minutes, it will go off, and then you have to get it back again, like Facebook like this. Personally, I've done setting on my phone, so when I browse Facebook for 15 minutes, it goes off.
Facebook will go off?
Yeah, it goes off. So if I want to use it again, then I'll go again 30 minutes, like 15 minutes.
How is it? If you don't have
there are settings there. So you just have to go to the settings, then you check.
Facebook?
Yeah, on Facebook. There are settings. I've forgotten the exact steps. But when you look through the settings, now because of the digital eye screen, like I mentioned, it is of significant concern. So now technologies are trying to address that challenge. So some of these things are there, and then also your screen light, you can put it on automatic brightness. With that one, when you get to a darker place, it automatically dims. When you get to a brighter place, then it lights up for you to see very well.
So looking at how things are moving, going and stuff, can digital eye strain be prevented completely?
Complete prevention, I'm not very sure that can happen, because no matter what, we are still going to use the devices, and once you are using the devices, you'll be exposed to it. Just that we can minimize its impact on our visual system and then on our day-to-day activities. The main thing is we don't want to go through that stress, that discomfort. So when we do the 20-20 rule, we take some breaks and all that, then the effects or the impact will be minimized. If you want to prevent it, then we take off the screens. But most of us cannot do away with our screens in the first place.
Our time is up, but before we wrap up, are some screens easier on the eyes than others?
Yeah, some are easier than others. Like I mentioned earlier, some of the screen, the pixels are very high.
Others
so
are
you get sharper margins, well-defined images. The sharper the image, the less effort you will put into see. So when you are looking on a tablet that the screen quality is low, it means that you are going to strain more to see. So if you know that your work is such that you spend longer hours on the screen, then you need to invest in getting the right device that will reduce the strain on your eyes. If you know you stay on the screen long, then buy quality device with higher specs. You know that phones now we have even TV, the OLED screens, the 4K screens, and so if you spend longer hours on screens, then you need to invest more so that you buy quality screens that will reduce the strain on your eyes.
All right, so before we go, what's your advice, your final advice for our viewers?
Okay, so my final advice is that digital eye strain is real. It is not a myth. We go through it each and every day in our lives, especially those of us who uses the screens. So let's try and then read more also about it. Now there is so much information online, so let's try and read and get to know some of the things we need to do, some of the things we don't have to do, so that we can minimize its impact on our eyes. And those of us who uses the screen continuously, we can also get a protective glasses as well, in order to also help protect our eyes from the impact.
All right, thank you so much, Doc, for all these helpful tips. Thanks so much for watching. Thank you to all the crew, and thank you. Remember, one thing that you have to remember is our eyes deserve a break, just like what we do. But I saw something here, which is Matthew chapter 6 verse 22. If the camera can capture it for me. It said the eye is a lamp of the body. So if your eye is healthy, your whole body will be full of light. Matthew 6:22. So which means your eye, that is the only pair you've got. So take good care of it. My name is Kojo Atta. Same time next week. Good night.